Here are the tools required. We need scissors, socket wrenches with an L-shaped extension bar. Also, an open-end wrench, box end wrenches, hex keys, and a pair of needle nose pliers. Unboxing and retrieving parts. Use scissors to cut the packing strap of the carton. Lift upward and remove the outer carton. Use scissors to cut the cable ties securing the accessory carton, remove the carton, and set it aside for later use. Use scissors to cut the packing straps securing the front wheel rim assembly. Take out the front wheel rim assembly for later use. Next, cut the two cable ties fixed on the upper connecting plate. Use M14 socket, M14 open-end wrench, and L-shaped socket extension bar to remove all fixing bolts at the bottom of the packaging iron frame. Work with an assistant to remove the upper part of the packaging frame and take off the protective film and pearl cotton covering the vehicle body. Untie the straps securing the rear swing arm on both left and right sides. Secure the front wheel axle with an M17 box end wrench. Then, loosen and remove the front wheel axle nut with an M19 box end wrench. Lift the front suspension slightly, then pull out the front wheel axle. Work with your assistant to lift the motorcycle onto the repair stand for subsequent installation. Cut the cable ties securing the rear wheel and front fender. Remove the front fender and set it aside for later use. Cut all packing cable ties on the shock absorber and left side of the vehicle, then remove the bubble wrap from the side stand. Cut the cable ties securing the number plate, ignition lock, and handlebar pipe. Then set the number plate aside for later use. Open the accessory box and take out all the parts inside. Proceed with the complete vehicle installation. Install the lower pressure block. Install the two lower pressure blocks with their stepped sides facing backward. Use an M8 hex key to mount them into the mounting holes at the rear of the upper connecting plate. Adjust the orientation and tighten them securely. Install the upper pressure block and handlebar. Place the handlebar into the groove of the lower pressure blocks, fit the upper pressure blocks, and align them with the mounting holes of the lower blocks. Then install the ignition lock bracket into the mounting holes at the rear of the upper pressure blocks. Remove the protective film from the vehicle during installation to avoid scratching the handlebar. This step will not be demonstrated. After tightening the bolts, use an M6 hex wrench to fasten them securely. Install the chest protector cover and chest protector foam. Remove the chest protector cover and take out the chest protector foam. Open the mounting slot of the foam, clip it onto the crossbar of the handlebar, then wrap it with the chest protector cover. Remove the protective film from the handlebar. Use an M8 socket, an L-shaped socket extension bar to loosen and remove the front fender mounting bolts on the lower connecting plate. Install the front fender. Remove one flat washer from each bolt that has two washers and install them onto the other two bolts respectively. Use an M8 socket to fix the front fender to the lower connecting plate at the original position where it was removed. After screwing on the 4 bolts, use an M8 socket with an L-shaped socket extension bar to tighten the front fender securely. Then use an M8 socket to remove the number plate mounting bolts at the front of the upper connecting plate. Install the number plate. First, clip the front brake hose into the hose slot on the back of the number plate. Then, insert the limit post at the bottom of the number plate into the limit hole of the front fender and use an M8 socket to tighten the number plate securely. Cut the cable tie on the front brake caliper and use an M10 socket to remove the front brake caliper. Install the front wheel rim assembly. Loosen the front axle nut and take out the 2 front wheel spacers. Install the longer spacer on the brake disc side and the shorter one on the opposite side. Place the brake disc against the front brake side. Lift the front wheel and align the mounting holes. Insert the front axle from the right front shock absorber and tighten the nut. Use an M17 ring spanner to secure the front axle and use an M19 ring spanner to tighten the nut securely. Remove the mounting bolts of the front brake caliper and route the brake caliper around the inner side of the shock absorber. Remove the retaining clip from the brake caliper, seat the brake pads into the gap of the brake disc, hand tighten the bolts, then secure the brake caliper into place. Use an M4 hex key to loosen one bolt of the front brake hose clamp and unscrew the other bolt. Place the front brake hose into the slot of the clamp. Ensure the hose clamp fastens tightly around the rubber sleeve of the hose, then refit the bolts and tighten them securely into place. Install the foot peg teeth. Straighten the cotter pin with needle nose pliers. Pull out the cotter pin and clevis pin. Align the mounting holes of the foot peg teeth with the mounting holes of the foot peg bracket. Insert the clevis pin, reinstall the cotter pin, and bend its ends to lock in place. Install the breather hose and vent valve, and insert the breather hose into the breather hole on the fuel tank cap. Cut off the cable ties securing the foam padding on the left and right sides of the rear swing arm, and remove the foam padding. Install the rear shock absorber, lift the rear wheel, and align the mounting holes of the rear shock absorber with the mounting holes of the rear shock absorber mounting bracket. Insert the mounting bolt and screw on the nut. Hold the nut in place with an M14 open-end wrench, then tighten it securely into place with an M13 socket. Finally, seat the rear brake hose back into the rear brake hose clamp. Complete the entire vehicle assembly.